Hello, I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. In this week's top news for natural gas, number one, LNG exports rise to a record 16.5 BCFD. Number two, part of that reason is Plaquemines LNG now exceeds 2 BCF a day of demand. Number three, an expanding drought across the U.S. Southwest. And number four, Trump possibly easing tariffs. Let's take a look at the spot April natural gas contract, currently up just 3 ticks, currently trading 398.20. Well, actually unchanged right now, 398. And it expires on Thursday with option expiration on Wednesday. On Wednesday, that option expiration, the highest open interest is at the $4 strike, and below that, 375. So we'll be looking to see if prices continue to just hold here like a magnet around that $4 strike. Let's take a look at the hourly chart for the April contract. Again, it is expiring on Thursday. Prices held basically the support, first pivot support here at 388.10, currently now trading again just 6 ticks higher on the day at 398.60. And again, this looks like it's just going to hold here at that pivot, which currently comes in at 396.30. Above that, resistance is at 406.20, and above that, 414.40. So what's going on? Let's take a look at the spreads. The Jan through May spread here. This is the comparison again for one of the winter contracts against what will be the spot contract on Friday, the May contract. Again, it is looking at 144.20 right now, which means that it's not economically incentivizing people for heavy storage injections. Why? Because storage costs on new fields close to 20 to 25 cents per month, and this spread does not cover that spread. So what does that mean? It means that storage injections are still going to be light as we go through into April. Why? We've still got some very, very heavy demand. As we spoke earlier, LNG exports are at a record level at 16.5 BCFD. And we've got an expanding drought, which will mean higher AC load going forward. So let's take a look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. It is above normal, and it is above normal where that drought is expanding, which is West Texas all the way through the desert Southwest. Much of the country, with the exception of just the coasts and potentially a little bit of New England, is either near normal or below normal. So right now, warm temperatures are starting here early as we get into the first injection month of the season. Let's take a look at the weather models for the US. As you can see, most of that cold Arctic air is still well contained in northern Canada now, and only briefly takes parting shots toward the Great Lakes states and parts of New England. But the rest of the country, especially the South, Southwest, and even the Southeast, has periods of very much above normal temperatures as we go forward into April. And so looks like we're going to have an early and quick start to the AC season. Let's take a look at the weather. You can see we've had some storms here through the Houston area in now into Louisiana and across the southeast. This will continue for the next day or so. But as you can see, the tropics are still fairly quiet. It is very early. The Atlantic season doesn't kick off until June 1st, but the Pacific season starts May 1. And as you can see, our three areas, the Gulf of Mexico / America, around Belize, and around Costa Rica, Panama, is relatively quiet. But as you can see in the bottom right, you can start seeing some activity here coming off Africa. And as you can see in this particular map, this is coming off of NOAA site. You can see there's a lot of convection coming off of Africa at this time. So let's take a closer look. As you can see, we're starting to see some moisture coming off of the Sahel, and it is coming into the Atlantic. It is still disorganized. This is well before the Atlantic hurricane season, but we'll be keeping a careful eye on it. It may be an early start. We'll get the first hurricane outlook on April the 3rd. Let's take a look at the U.S. nuclear reactors. Right now, we are currently out for outages here around 18,000 or 18.24%. This is a little stronger than the average. And again, we do peak out on these outages around the first and second week of April, with a low around the second week or first week of July, excuse me. Let's take a look at ERCOT. We've got a little bit of wind today, mostly solar. And so right now, prices are still well contained with the batteries discharging into the breakfast hour. Right now, it looks like we're having a fairly moderate, about 57,000, excuse me, for the system-wide demand peak today. It is still fairly light, but we have low wind conditions. And again, we do have a lot of solar. So prices are well contained. So let's take a quick look at again at the expiring April contract. Again, it is expiring on Thursday. Options expire on Wednesday. Currently trading 395.60, down 2.4 cents or 0.63%. So again, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.